Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince is officially set to release onto the Nintendo Switch exclusively on December 1st. And after Tokyo Game Show, not only did we get a brand new slate of details, we also got the confirmation of 5 brand new features, which simply was just revealed as part of the latest batch of information. If you have been following my channel, you already know that I put up a 10 brand new features video. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below when they originally spoke about some of the new introductory features. Also, some of the monsters that are recruitable that are also part of other Dragon Quest games. And also a little bit of an everything you need to know type video where I went over all of the details at a little bit, something like an overarching video introducing players to what it is that they should be able to expect for Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. But today we're going to be going over 5 brand new battle and monster recruitment systems that were revealed thanks to Tokyo Game Show. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below for their latest batch of information and trying to overlay some of that on the screen if I can. But for those who may not necessarily know, Dragon Quest The Monsters The Dark Prince is the latest installment in the Dragon Quest Monster series, where players immerse themselves in the epic story of the Dark Prince Sorrow, where as a monster wrangler, he constructs a team of monsters to battle against enemies, and as you progress through the adventure, become the master of monster kind. One of the things that they recently revealed is that you can scout monsters and send them into battle. You can control up to 8 team members, with up to 4 in your main party and 4 as your reserves. This is something that we do get to see in the gameplay. You have a back row essentially that can be used as your reserves. They are all active though, so they can essentially be swapped in and out whenever you want. Issue the precise orders to each individual monsters during your battle, or set general tactics such as show no mercy or focus on healing, and leave it up to the monsters to decide your specifics. Your monsters can either enter into a frenzy state out of sheer desperation and inflict greater damage and gain additional opportunities to act if victory seems like a distant dream. So not only do you have active control over your active characters, you also have some suggestions for your reserves. You can set them up like most active action RPGs do, where you can tell them to be focusing more healing, focusing on support, focusing on tanking, avoiding damage. This is something that we got to see recently in the latest, I believe, Star Ocean Second Story Art demo, which I spoke about at length on that. I love those options being added there. This game has the same thing as well. And monsters, depending upon those settings, can become a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more dependent, a little bit more reserved. So obviously you want to toggle those options as best as possible. You can also grow your roster of monsters in different many ways. After winning a battle, an enemy monster may ask to join your party afterwards. This is very Persona-like as well. You can actually recruit them based on however many of them you have actually been able to defeat in the past. Use the show force skill by trying to persuade them strong looking enemies to join your team. So you have different options to be able to recruit them based on their personality. Meet other wranglers on your journey who are willing to combine their monsters. Remember, you can actually mix characters up and different monsters to be able to become a little bit more powerful by uniting traits and unique skills. And as you create brand new creatures, they'll become even more powerful. That's a given. Use items such as meat-based goodies or other treats to increase the likelihood of recruiting monsters to improve them in the persuasiveness as you show force. So again, kind of like Persona, you can give them gifts and essentially get them to join your team. This is a pretty good tactic for these type of recruitment type monster-based, monster taming type games. Use the power of synthesis to make new monsters. Combine new parent monsters to create a brand new one. The synthesis system has been completely overhauled for Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, and now features more intuitive combinations for recruiting and returning members to essentially discover. Some of the things that the developer spoke about in the previous developer interview was the fact that there were a lot of monsters that kind of, again, like Persona, if you know a little bit about that, this game is taking a lot of ideas from what that franchise has done recently. And one of the things that they spoke about is that in order for you to be able to kind of have monster combinations you want, you don't necessarily need to have one specific monster. You can combine certain monsters to be able to eventually get that one that you want. They kind of make it a little bit more broader to be able to have the best one that you might be after. And that is because you might be looking for specific talents. There are 3 board categories for talents. Each one contains a mix of skills, magic spells, and attribute boosters as well. Some provide life-saving healing spells, while others can turn monsters into attacking powerhouses or sponges for damage. These are essentially the class types that you can have as monsters go about. A selection of talents are even named after some very familiar monsters. Level up your monster talents as you unlock new sets of spells and abilities gradually by assigning talent points earned through the battle experience or any other means. You can also inherit talents through your synthesizing. When a child monster is synthesized, it comes through its own innate talents, but you can also inherit skills from its parents. Understanding that this is the ultimate key to creating a powerful monster, there are numerous talents to be acquired. So again, same idea. You unite certain unique characters and you can eventually get a different one with different skills, new talents, and all those boosted bonuses that the previous ones already had. You can manage your team of monsters, sizes, and ranks as monsters come in 2 different shapes, large and small. Sizes, as small monsters take up a slot in your team, while large monsters require 2 slots. Set up your party of 4 small monsters and 2 large monsters, or 2 small monsters and 1 large one. Large monsters also have higher attributes than their smaller counterparts and act as multiple times per round, can attack multiple times per round during a specific battle. This is another interesting twist as well. Some monsters, I believe, can have a small and a big version of themselves. However, many of the large monsters seem to be unique. Some of the ones that I spoke about in the previous video as well. So, you kind of need to know that going in. Ranks is also another way for you to differentiate monsters. Each monster is assigned one of 9 different ranks: G, F, E, D, C, B, A, S, or X, from the lowest to the highest. A rank S monsters may hold familiar antagonists from previous series, while most friendlish monsters would exclusively occupy at rank X. So in typical gacha mechanics, although this game is not that, but they are still using those letters to kind of decide which ones are more powerful than others, you're certainly going for A, S, or X tier monsters as best as you can. Test your mettle in the battle arenas of 2 separate worlds. As Cyro's adventures take place, 2 battle arenas where you can test your monsters might become available: the Endor Coliseum in the human world of Terrestia and the Mausoleum of the Monster of Realms in Naderia. Overcome every expert monster wrangler in each one of the arenas as Cyro's quest to raise an army capable of toppling the master of monsterkind himself. So brand new challenges will become available whenever you decide to take on the arenas and these brand new coliseums. Lastly, they talk about familiar faces from Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age as new friends you'll come to find. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince features over 500 monsters to befriend. Again, Pokemon-like, Persona-like, plenty of monsters to recruit. Jasper, Unbound, and Crystallina from Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age have been confirmed as attachable monsters, essentially characters you can bring along your party. Greater Playthink and brand new monsters like Grander are also available and are more available as you begin to synthesize. So this is another thing that they spoke about in the developer interview recently through Tokyo Game Show, where a lot of these unique ones that you might not necessarily know how to get, yes, the monsters that you might need as requirements become easier since you can actually synthesize more common monsters to be able to get slightly more unique ones. The really unique monsters, the X tier ones that they were talking about earlier when it comes to ranks, some of those might be a little bit tricky to get, and that is because they're specifically tied to other Dragon Quest games from years past. So it's kind of like not much of a surprise. These are also considered large monsters as well, as they are X tier. So it's kind of like expected that some of those are going to be a little bit harder to get. The last thing that they do mention here is that, of course, if you pre-order the game, they are confirming that there's going to be some pre-order rewards: Stardust earrings, Scholar specs, and bonus ball. Whatever those items are going to end up doing, they will be available for you once the game launches on December 1st, exclusively, once again, on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm under no delusions. I assume this game is eventually going to make its way onto PlayStation and PC, but for now, this is gonna be a Switch exclusive title. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!